Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly horoscope for Monday the 16th of March, going through until Sunday the 22nd of March 2020. It's a pleasure to be with you today. Thanks for joining me. These horoscopes are for all signs of the zodiac. They're for everybody who watches. What I do is I look at the sky and see how the planets form relationships and how that affects all of us down here on planet Earth. If you want to have a look at March for your sign specifically, have a look at the horoscopes I do for each sign of the zodiac, but these weeklies are for everybody. Also, they're based on UK time, so if you're in a different time zone, then please take that into account. This week, I've had a look at this week, and it's a major week. I mean, I know astrologers always say, oh my god, this week is life-changing and transformative. It's like, okay, what days are actually not transformative? But this is important. Saturn goes into Aquarius, and that happens every couple of years. So Saturn is the most important thing that can happen in astrology, your Saturn return. It happens 3 times between the ages of 28 and 29 and a half, 56 to 58, and 84 to 86. And Saturn, when it comes along, holds up a mirror to your life, and it's a very powerful process that we speak about in my personal readings. So that big head teacher of the chart, changing signs, is a big deal. So as keywords, I've put extremism versus balance. So it's the light and dark, also because we have the spring equinox happening this week. So it's very much about that. On Monday, you start with the moon going into Capricorn at 4:26 in the afternoon. The moon in Capricorn wants you to be reasonable, rational, and to work. Mercury moves back into Pisces until the middle of April. So Mercury, the communication planet, because of the retrograde, Mercury will stay in Pisces for almost 2.5 months this year, which is why it's been such an emotional roller coaster over the last 2.5 months. I mean, I don't know about you, I'm a Virgo, sun sign Virgo, my rising is Taurus, and my moon is Capricorn, so it's Earth, 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 Earth. And Pisces is the sign that opposes Virgo, so I'm 180 degrees away from Pisces. So all of this emotional stuff is, and communicating, Mercury, the communication planet, rules the signs Gemini and Virgo. So it's about exchanging ideas. It's like taking a radio and putting it underwater. It's going to sound different. Take Mercury and drop it in a giant ocean, and that's what Mercury in Pisces is like. So rather than explaining things, I don't know about you, but sometimes it's felt like telepathy, or are people deliberately misunderstanding me, or why am I so emotionally upset by this tiny little sentence someone said, and why am I overreacting so badly? I've had that. So don't give yourself a hard time if all of these things sound vaguely familiar. It's because of Mercury. Let's blame Mercury. Always need someone to blame. So on Monday, you really start the week with a great sense of balance between your inner emotional self and your physical being, which come into perfect harmony on Monday the 16th with this astrological recipe in place. A day to see yourself for who and what you really are. Tuesday the 17th of March, we've got the Capricorn Moon. So your inner sense, the most sensitive part of you, still says, please work, please be productive. It trines Venus, the love planet, which is in a sign that it rules Taurus, the bull, the most earthy of the signs. It's about sensuality and money and luxury and creativity and just Venus in Taurus. Imagine a lush ivory tower palace, and the moon also sextiles, so it forms a harmonious relationship with Neptune, the water planet of dreams and inspiration in Pisces. So the water planet in the water sign that it rules is very happy. On Tuesday, love comes in via Venus and the higher octave of Venus, which is Neptune. So Venus is a personal planet, so it's about personal love. I love this, I love running, I love this person, I love cheese. Neptune is about generations and humanity as a species finding love for one another. And that's why it's so nebulous, because we haven't figured it out yet. So on Tuesday, love tempers Capricorn's desire to work, the moon being in Capricorn. And you also realize here that you don't need to feel that you have to work to earn love. That kind of illusion goes poof today. You don't need to earn love. You are lovable and you deserve love because you exist, because you're part of something bigger. Love appears today, and it teaches you that it's not something that you can earn or have any control over. It descends when it does, and it lifts when it does. You have no say over it. It's a miracle. So Tuesday the 17th of March is an amazing day for new love. Congrats, all the new lovers out there. Wednesday the 18th of March, the Capricorn Moon conjuncts Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn in Capricorn. So the Moon and all the big boys here are in Capricorn. And they sextile the Sun in Pisces. The Sun being your identity and Pisces being very aware of the dual nature of us as human beings, light and dark, the concept of duality. Pisces is very tuned into that. So on Wednesday, the moon makes friends with all of these big boys, and they all encourage you to just work, and to make changes and to create the ideal, special, fabulous version of you. Thank goodness the Pisces sun reminds you that you already are perfect as you are right now, and that you don't need to work yourself half to death or harm yourself in a process of becoming something exceptional. A lot of people, and no, our whole society trains us to become something exceptional. The American dream. Build something from nothing and become someone exceptional. There's nothing wrong with that. We all want to make the most of our talents, but when it becomes a destructive obsession, so I want to make it to the top, and let's say to me success is hard, cold cash. And I'm a man. Yes, I am. I have a wife and a couple of kids, let's say, okay? And I want to get to the top, and success is money for me. The fact that I have this amazing, loving family, I don't even care about, because that's not success to me, and I'm not bothered. That's what a man does in the culture. So you trample all over your wife and your children, you hurt all of them in your path to getting to the top, and you discard them, and then you are at the top. That's the kind of journey all of the big boys are encouraging you to take. There's no mercy there. Mars is a soldier. Jupiter is the good luck planet. It's the biggest planet in our universe. So it's good and it's lucky, but it says more. Let's have more. Pluto is transformation, death and rebirth, and Saturn is these are the rules. So there's no love there. So you can give yourself a break and realize that you can work with who you are in the right now, and that it's good enough. You're good enough. You're good enough. Isn't that amazing? You don't have to be the Queen of Sheba or open 5 retail shopping galaxies that people just swarm towards, and just you become the most rich and most famous person in the world. Why? Do you really still need that? Think about who you want to be and what is sufficient for you to be happy. Because there's nothing wrong with being ambitious and becoming the best version of yourself, no. But there's something wrong with flogging yourself half to death, saying you must achieve, you must become this great thing, and you're harming and hurting yourself in the process. And Wednesday is a day where you have to watch out for that. Take it easy, take care of yourself first and foremost, and love yourself. And things that are risky to your health, if someone offers you a job but the job entails 16-hour days, 7 days a week, and it's a great stepping stone, but you'll never make it because you have a fragile system, and with that much sleep you're going to be a wreck. So if that kind of opportunity comes along, say bye-bye, not for me. Thursday the 19th of March, the moon moves into Aquarius at 1:17 a.m. So that's really nice because the moon's been in Capricorn, the earth sign, for the first 3 days really. So on Thursday, the moon in Aquarius, you're now much more open-minded, you're thinking about new ideas, you're open to being taught, you're teaching, you're a humanitarian, you're interested in new ideas, and you're interested in the collective and the happiness of the whole. And you also easily find yourself in a position of leadership, and it doesn't trouble you. So this moon then squares Uranus and Taurus, the planet of the miraculous and unexpected, in an earth sign, Taurus. So anything can happen in a practical sense on Thursday. And it sextiles Chiron, the wounded healer, also in Aries. Yeah, so Chiron is in Aries. It's an asteroid, and he was one of the centaurs in mythology who taught the other gods medicine, and in the end he had to sacrifice himself. So he is a symbol for self-sacrifice, for, I suppose, the greater good, but also for personal healing. If you let go of something, you can actually start the healing process. So on Thursday the 19th of March, it's very much a day to sit back and to observe. And don't get hooked, don't get pulled into drama and fear. And you have that luxury of being able to sit back and not get hooked in the drama, because you realize that you're safe and you're looked after. You don't need to be drastic or extreme, because the ego is a water off a duck's back for you. So you're going to be sitting there and you're going to be wondering what all the fuss is about. So it's a wonderful day to really listen, to observe, to learn. The people who, I tried this in a car once. I was driving with 2 people, and I didn't really know what to make of them. So I was in the back seat and I pretended to fall asleep on the back seat. And after about 10 minutes, I wasn't asleep, but after about 10-15 minutes, they realized I was gone, I was asleep. And they talked normally about things the way they normally would. And they talked about me. It was so quick that they forgot I was in the back sleeping. And I really understood what they really thought of me. I mean, eavesdropping isn't that polite, but in that situation, you could see that you don't need to be drastic. On Friday the 20th of March, we have the spring equinox, which is lovely. It's the time of year when the amount of daylight is the exact same as the amount of darkness that we've got. So we've got perfect balance on this day. So that trumps all of what's been going on here, in the sense that this is the most balanced day of the week. The sun moves into Aries at 3:51 in the morning, so happy birthday to all the Aries out there. And Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, so as far as the astrology is concerned, this is New Year's, this is new beginnings, this is really the start of a whole new cycle with 12 houses, and we're in the first house now. Mars in Capricorn still encourages you to work hard, but today it conjuncts the lucky planet Jupiter, also in Capricorn, the sign of the worker. So on Friday the 20th, you spring into action. Get it? Spring has sprung. So you spring into action. Excuse me, I didn't do that. Having seen and observed the things that you've seen the day before, you find the courage and the daring and the love for yourself and the sense that you owe it to yourself to create new opportunities, to start a new business, to go for a new job interview, to build something that you see in your mind's eye, to create, to write, to be productive, and to really to communicate something that you deeply care about. So it takes courage and daring to express what you're feeling. And that's what is really going to resonate with other people, because it's an authentic. It's the second time I've used that word in this reading. So authenticity is really important and possible this week. And a lot of people cannot be honest with themselves. So we all suffer from that to certain degrees. We look in the mirror, and just to come to terms with ourselves, I think there are certain stories we tell ourselves about ourselves which are supposed to help, but which don't really. They just obscure and twist the truth in a way that we find beneficial, but that always comes and bites us because it's not the truth. On Saturday, the 21st of March, the moon goes into Pisces at 12:34 in the afternoon. Saturn, the planet of structure, security, foundation, head teacher, purpose, that moves from Capricorn into Aquarius on the 21st of March until the 1st of July 2020. And then it does this again on the 17th of December 2020. And then it stays in Aquarius until the 7th of March 2023. So what happens this year is that Saturn retrogrades it moves forwards at the moment, and it goes from Capricorn into the next sign, Aquarius. But then in the summer, in the middle of the year, in May, Saturn begins to retrograde. And it retrogrades from May to the end of September. So it retrogrades and it goes back into Capricorn, and then on the 17th of December it moves forward again, and then it moves into Aquarius and stays in Aquarius until 2023. So it kind of enters Aquarius, then it moves back into Capricorn a little bit, and then it moves forward into Aquarius. And Saturn is really the most important planet. It's our bones, it's the structure of who we are. And with that changing from Capricorn to Aquarius it's huge. Saturn rules Capricorn, so it's very happy in that sign. It says work, 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 and create structure. And we've seen how difficult it's been lately in the past with work and with getting things done. Obstacles have been in the way. With Saturn going into Aquarius, it means a shift of being obsessed with work and now becoming very fascinated by new ideas, new technology, new ways of thinking, new ideologies, new philosophies. Aquarius is the sign of the thinker, teacher, and humanitarian. Also, the person who's good with electrical, scientific research, all of those aspects of life. So it's a big wow that I put here on Saturday the 21st for Saturn changing signs. It's a big deal. Saturn is our foundation, And it's the keystone that holds everything together. And with it going into Aquarius now, over the next 3 years until the 7th of March 2023, expect great progress in science, medicine, areas of intellectualism, new ways of thinking, like I said, ideologies, philosophies, and possibly, and this is what I'm hoping for, in connection with Uranus and Taurus, the planet of the miraculous and unexpected, in the sign of the Earth, the bull, Taurus. And I hope it causes this mass awakening. Because what it could do, it could shift the way we think about each other, as we could shift from seeing each other as we see each other now, which is as competitors and other workhorses and people who are better than us and people who are lower class than us and all of that rubbish. And you start, or we all start to see each other as companions on the same journey, all going in the same direction, on the same boat. And that would truly be a miracle, because if we all started to live happily together and realize that there's enough for everyone, then that is a miracle. And that's what would be the best thing to happen in 2020. I keep going on about 2021. We have the Great Conjunction. Jupiter and Saturn will meet on the 21st of December 2020 and will conjunct in 2021. And it only happens every 20 years. So it makes huge changes to society when it happens. And no one's quite sure exactly what it is going to be. I really don't think that what we're seeing right now is the big change. I think this is just a forerunner to a big change. And I really hope the big change is this benevolent worldview that we all start to adopt. That would be great. Imagine. Yeah, John Lennon. Imagine. Could be. Sunday the 22nd of March, Mercury in Pisces. Thinking planet underwater still. Oh, my feelings. Spiritually, I feel, instead of, the numbers are 18 minus 9 is 9. Not, I don't know how I feel about subtracting the 9 from the 18. So Mercury, it forms a harmonious sextile with Uranus in Taurus. So it gets a grip in terms of Earth a little bit. Neptune, the water planet in Pisces, conjuncts the moon in Pisces. So now we're very spiritual. Mercury actually is able to talk underwater. It's able to make sense of things now, because the feeling, the moon, the way you are in here, is in Pisces. So you understand yourself. Venus is in Taurus and sextiles Neptune in Pisces. So the idea of love is huge. And the idea of I will do anything for what and who I love is huge. It's a great day for romanticism and fantasy and doing things because of fantasies you've dreamt up. Mars in Capricorn conjuncts Pluto in Capricorn. So Mars sits right on top of Pluto. Mars is the soldier, ambition and drive. Pluto is transformation and change, the phoenix rising from the ashes. So Sunday the 22nd is it's a day for great potential change, power and upheaval taking place. These are changes that are not really anything to do with you. They're not your decision to make. I think these are external changes that affect you. So something is going to come to a head and it's going to clash. So for example, if you've always despised your brother-in-law, you're finally going to have a fight today or whatever. Finally the pressure cooker just explodes and the pressure boils over and there's just an argument or whatever. So something that is unresolved really comes to a head today. Luckily, you're flexible and you can adapt and go with the flow today. Instead of resisting what is and fighting it and getting involved with something you can't really argue with. So don't take on that masculine energy, and there is a lot of masculine energy around at the moment, because if you go into the masculine energy, you go into passion and anger and fear and all of those feelings which are meant to build and destroy. And you will escalate the situation, if anything, and then passion is going to overcome any sort of reason. So instead of you just having a little tiff with your brother-in-law and then laughing it off, saying, aren't we silly? Here, you could really go over the top, and you could really actually hit your brother-in-law. There's the potential for violence. There's the potential for clashing, for things to bump heads, for real duality crashing and coming together. And it's kind of the after effect of Saturn changing signs. It's like a ripple, it's like a wave that comes, and now you're in this process of seeing things differently and really being in your feelings, but also coming out of that and looking at what you want the world to be, and then seeing what it is and not being happy with that. So again, you're an observer earlier in the week on Thursday. So on Sunday, again, I would suggest be an observer, because there are all of these things happening. And if you go into the masculine energy and take part in all of the happenings, you'll get involved and the drama will rub off on you. Again, if you go into a more objective space and you don't get involved, so you don't take the hook of the masculine energy, you align yourself with the feminine energy, which in this case, let's say, is removed and sees clearly and is just observing. That way, you're going to have the best day possible in terms of learning from other people's mistakes and keeping yourself out of trouble. So it's a great day for a lot of us to kind of realize, oh, we're not the only ones who don't know what we're doing. There are a lot of people who really don't know what they're doing. And I'm going to observe and see what I can learn from that this week. And I'm going to try and find balance throughout the whole week. And when I find myself behaving extremely, in an extremely positive way or an extremely negative way, that's when you need to be careful. So that's what I get for you this week. I hope that gives you some idea and some useful kind of information to go on. If you would like a personal reading with me, then please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com, and you can order your reading with me on there. If you like this video, then please hit the subscribe button and share the video online. Have a wonderful week, and I'll speak to you next week.